Did you know that in North Korea, rice isn't just cooked, it's counted, literally, grain by grain? Or that giving the wrong haircut can actually get you executed? Yeah, welcome to the world of Kim Jong-un, where ordinary jobs come with deadly consequences, and one small mistake can cost you your life. In today's video, we're diving into the most bizarre, disturbing, and outright insane jobs in North Korea, the kind of jobs that feel like they were designed in a dystopian nightmare. From professional rice counters to government-assigned barbers, you won't believe what people are forced to do just to survive. And trust me, the deeper we go, the darker it gets. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll be thanking the universe you weren't born there. Let's get started. You know how most artists dream of sculpting whatever inspires them? Yeah, not in North Korea. There, sculptors are only allowed to make statues of 3 people: Kim Jong-un, his father, and his grandfather. That's it. 3 faces, thousands of times. Sounds like a weird school project, right? Except this one comes with a prison sentence if you mess it up. If an artist dares to sculpt anyone else, even a national hero or a cultural icon, the government calls it an insult. And it's not just the artist who pays the price. His entire family can be arrested, tortured, or sent to labor camps for life. Think about that. You try to create something beautiful, and your loved ones disappear. And just how many statues are we talking about? Over 3,400. That's one statue for nearly every village in the country. It's like living in a museum where every exhibit is the same face, watching you. And here's the kicker. When you walk past one of these statues, you're legally required to bow 3 times. Yes, 3 full bows. Even if you're a tourist. You forget or don't show enough respect. Let's just say your vacation ends very differently than planned. But wait, this is just one job in North Korea that'll blow your mind. In a minute, I'll show you how people are paid to polish rocks. Yes, actual stones from the street. Why? Stay tuned. It gets even stranger. Every country has food safety rules, but only North Korea turned it into a matter of life and death. There's a real job title that sounds like a joke: rice inspector. But this isn't just someone checking for bugs or dirt. These workers are forced to count individual grains of rice, one by one. Why? Because the late dictator Kim Jong-il had a strange obsession. He believed that every single grain served to him should be flawless, not clean, not healthy, perfect. So before the rice ever touched boiling water, a team had to sit down and literally inspect and count each grain, with tweezers, white gloves, and fear in their eyes. No cracks, no spots, no excuses. And here's the terrifying part. If even one bad grain made it into his bowl, the inspector could be punished, imprisoned, or just vanish, for real, over a single rice grain. Imagine trying to explain that job on LinkedIn. Professional rice counter, specialized in not dying. But here's where it gets worse. Because if you think rice inspection is strict, wait till you hear about the job where people are forced to polish rocks from the street. And no, this isn't a kid's craft activity. It's a government-mandated job, and it's coming up next. You won't believe what they do with those stones. In most countries, musicians perform to entertain crowds, build fans, or just share their art. But in North Korea, entertainers exist for one audience only: Kim Jong-un. These singers, dancers, and musicians aren't allowed to perform in public. They can't sing for their families. They can't post their talents online. They can't tour or go viral. Their entire career is spent waiting for one man's approval. Every morning they report to a special facility, not a studio, not a stage, but more like a holding area. They sit, dressed and ready day and night, just in case the dictator suddenly feels like hearing a song. If Kim's in the mood, they're rushed into a private theater to perform. If he's not, they still stay locked in, waiting in silence, day after day, week after week, like royal jesters on a leash. And here's the catch. Even if they aren't performing, they must stay perfectly groomed, rehearsed, and mentally prepared at all times. Because if they slip up when the moment comes, they don't just lose a gig, they could lose their freedom, or worse. Imagine being one of the most talented performers in your country, and your only audience is a guy who might not even show up. And if you think that's insane, wait until you find out what happens if you cut someone's hair the wrong way. Yeah, the wrong haircut can get you killed. That shocking story is coming up next. We've all heard of polishing shoes, maybe even furniture. But in North Korea, there's a job that sounds like something out of a strange dystopian novel: rock polishing. Yes, people are actually assigned to go out, collect random stones from streets, trash heaps, even gutters, and polish them until they shine like glass. Why? No official reason. The government never explains. Some believe it's meant to keep the cities looking orderly and disciplined. Others say it's just busy work, designed to keep citizens so occupied that they never have time to think, question, or rebel. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. In 2010, a group of tourists disguised as casual visitors were exploring a North Korean war museum. Outside, they noticed something strange. An elderly woman, quietly stuffing rocks into a bag. Curious, they pulled out a phone and recorded her for just a few seconds. And the moment they stepped toward her to ask questions, security appeared out of nowhere. The old woman was taken away in seconds. No words, no explanation, just gone, vanished, like she never existed. That's how tightly controlled this harmless-sounding job really is. Imagine living in a country where polishing rocks isn't a punishment, it's employment. And if you're wondering how much they get paid for this, just a few coins, maybe enough for a piece of bread, no tips, no applause, just shiny stones and silence. North Korea has actual fashion police, and no, this isn't a parody from a sketch show. It's real. These officers, mostly women, patrol the streets with one job: to make sure no one looks too modern. Wearing jeans? Illegal. Sporting a Western-style jacket or hairstyle? That's an interrogation waiting to happen. Even tourists are warned before entering the country: don't dress too stylish, or you might find yourself being questioned, not by customs, but by the fashion authorities. And these aren't your average Karen at the mall types. These officers carry real power. They can have people arrested for unapproved outfits. And no, there's no appeal process. You just disappear behind a locked door for looking too much like you follow GQ or Vogue. Why does this matter so much? Because in North Korea, fashion isn't just fabric, it's loyalty. The government believes that wearing anything even remotely Western means you're being influenced by the outside world, and that's a threat to their control. Here's the wildest part. Most citizens are only allowed to wear traditional Korean clothing or military uniforms. That's it. No brands, no logos, no ripped jeans, just plain gray obedience, stitched into your wardrobe. It's like if Instagram was run by your strict grandma. But instead of unfollowing you, she sends you to prison. But if you thought the fashion police were intense, wait until you hear what happens to hairdressers who give the wrong haircut. Let's just say, the scissors might be the safest thing in the room. In most countries, being a barber is a chill gig. Clip some hair, chat about sports, maybe debate who had the better fade, LeBron or Drake. But in North Korea, it's a job that could land you in prison. Barbers are legally required to stick to a list of state-approved haircuts. 10 styles for men, 18 for women. That's it. No fades, no mullets, no personal expression, just government hair. And if you decide to get a little creative with the scissors, both you and your client could be arrested. That's right. Giving someone a trendy undercut could be considered a crime against the state. And for men, there's an actual hair length limit, 2 inches, maximum. Go past that, and you're not just breaking the rules, you're now a national threat with conditioner. Why all this fuss over follicles? Because in North Korea, your hairstyle isn't fashion, it's political. A rebellious cut means you're not conforming, and non-conformity is dangerous in a place where control is the top priority. So while barbers elsewhere debate style, North Korean barbers are silently sweating over rulers and scissors, knowing that one wrong snip could ruin their life. And if you think that's intense, wait till you hear what happens to people who try to escape the country for a better life. What the government does to them and their families is something you won't forget. That's end. But did you know some people lost their lives just because of one stupid mistake? Yeah, one careless move. And it was game over. If you're curious what really happened, click on this next video. I'll meet you there, and trust me, you'll want to know how to avoid the same fate. Stay safe out there.